Hey folks, welcome back. Gonna be real with you here. I don't know how to start this video, so... The 90s. The 90s were awesome, man. So many cool things happened. Someone cloned a sheep, the internet was born. For legal reasons, I'm electing not to comment. We were subjected to Vanilla Ice, Furby, but none of that fucking mattered because the only important thing that happened in the 90s was Nintendo and Sega being mad at each other. It was neck and neck. Nintendo had Mario, Sega had Sonic. Nintendo had financial stability, Sega had 32X. Nintendo made the most influential 3D platformer of all time. Sega had Sonic. I love Sonic the Hedgehog, man. I'm aware that for the past 20 years the franchise has been going through that awkward preteen phase where no one wants to be in the same room as them, but I still love it regardless. I will likely lose all credibility for this, but I'm not even just talking the games. I genuinely love the characters in the universe of Sonic. Of course, I will say I'm not crazy about a lot of the newer characters like this thing or Sexy Bat, and frankly, Amy can die on a barn fire for all I care. But give me some of this, a couple of these, and big old helping of this, and now we're working 9 to 5, baby. Hell yeah. Say what you will about Sonic, but he's one of the most important pop culture icons of the last 30 years. And his design is great. He easily passes the test of would you be able to recognize him from a silhouette, and his vibrant blue contrasted with his bright red shoes makes him pop out. I love this little guy. Same goes for Tails and Knuckles. Tails on his own is whatever in terms of color, but his yellow complements Sonic's blue nicely, and Knuckles' bright red is a good contrast. I grew up with Sonic 2, Sonic 3, and Sonic Adventure 2, so while I'm not completely partial to the 2D Sonic games, I will say that the format works a lot better in 2D. That said, I'm not trying to be one of those people who is like, oh shit, it was better back in the day, bro. Kids these days don't understand. My perspective isn't skewed by anything. Kids now just don't get Gex. But I mean, like, come on, Sonic was better than 90s. For years, Sonic fans all over the world wondered, just what does Sega need to do to bring back the magic that Sonic used to have? Apparently the answer is just do more of the old shit. Sonic Mania was released in 2017 as the 50,000th installment in Sega's Sonic the Hedgehog series. For Sonic's 25th anniversary, the company decided to celebrate with a monumental release since that worked out really well last time. This time, however, Sega assembled a team of indie developers to prevent them from fucking up for the 1000th time. The team was made up of Pagoda West Games and Headcanon, and the project was directed by Christian Whitehead. Christian Whitehead is definitely the most well-known Australian in the Sonic community. He began as a developer of Sonic fan games, his first being the self-published Retro Sonic. Unlike some companies, Sega saw this talented programmer who had a passion for their games and, rather than ruining his life with a lawsuit, decided to commission him to make mobile ports of the Genesis games. I think it's fair to say that he is best known for his port of Sonic CD. Sonic CD is a game that, let's say it divides fans. Some people love it, some people hate it, some people have never played it at all, but overall, thankfully everybody is just very respectful of other people's opinions. But I do think that even the most aggressive of Sonic CD detractors will say that the Christian Whitehead version is the definitive way to play the game. But enough f***ing around, okay? Here we go, fellas. It's Sonic Mania. The game was released on PS4, Switch, and Xbox One on August 15th, 2017, and on PC through Steam on August 29th, 2017. However, on July 17th, 2018, Sonic Mania Plus was released as DLC, also marking the game's debut in physical form. I'm going to be playing Sonic Mania Plus for this video, because... do I really need to justify that? The game has a ton of levels, and you can play through them as all three of our favorite guys. Sonic, Tails, Sonic and Tails together, and the best Sonic character, Knuckles. The characters all control similarly, but they each have little unique abilities, and I'm gonna go through them all because why not, right? We're all gonna die someday. May as well have some fun while we're at it. Sonic controls just like we remember. Like every character, you can crouch and press the jump button to rev up and then release to spin dash. As always, when you're in a ball, you can hurt enemies. If you're running, pressing down will allow any character to turn into a ball while maintaining speed, which kills enemies if you run into them. In this game, Sonic has a unique ability where he can jump into a spin dash, which is super cool. Similar to Sonic 3, Sonic also has the benefit of having special moves that he can do with the 3 elemental shields. With the fire shield, he has this cool fireball thing. With the bubble shield, he can do this ground pound move, and with the electricity shield, he gets this little extra bounce. You can also play as Sonic and Tails together, a mode that I can really only describe as Tails trying his best. Yeah, this is pretty much just playing as Sonic with Tails sometimes being behind you. To be fair, there's no real reason to play as just Sonic. Sure, Tails can't keep up with you, and he mostly just hits spikes and falls into pits, but he doesn't get in the way and you're not affected by him taking damage. Plus, sometimes he kills enemies and hurts bosses, and he can pick up rings for you, which is pretty cool. I have a vague suspicion that you can get the AI to pick you up and fly you places like in the old games, but I don't know how to do it. You can also play as Tails on his own. He has all the same abilities as Sonic, spin dashing and whatnot, but he can also fly by jumping and hitting the jump button repeatedly until he gets tired and slowly goes back to the ground. He's basically the same as he was in the Genesis games, but his propeller lasts a lot longer, which is awesome. In the old games, it wasn't really a useful ability. Okay, boys and girls, get ready because I saved the best for last. You can also play as Knuckles. Knuckles! I fucking love Knuckles, bro. As a kid, he was my favorite character, and I still feel that way. Do I look like a man who fucks around? He's just so cool, man. He doesn't chuckle, he flexes his muscles, he's got Lego shoes. But for real, his color scheme is just so cool, and I love his hair, or whatever. And he's got such attitude, man. Look at that idle animation. He's punching! Knuckles is also my favorite character to play as. For some reason, he can fly, which they never really explained that. I'm not entirely sure what an echidna is, but it doesn't look like this thing can fly. It's not quite on the level of Tails, it's more of a glide, but it's still pretty useful. A nice thing about it is that as soon as you stop holding the jump button, he'll fall straight down, which can make landing on platforms and stuff easier. But you can also start flying again if you're falling. He can also use his spiky hands to climb walls, and like, do I need to explain to you why that's sick? With the release of Sonic Mania Plus, 2 new playable characters were added in. Everyone was so excited. I wonder who it could be. Amy would be pretty cool with her hammer. I don't really like her that much as a character, but I don't know. It could be kind of neat. Or maybe we could have Shadow. Wouldn't it be cool to have Shadow for the first time ever in a 2D platforming game? Oh. Them. Yeah, so the 4th and 5th playable characters are Mighty the Armadillo and Ray the Flying Squirrel. When I first saw these two, I thought maybe I recognized Mighty from Knuckles Chaotix, but I had no idea who the fuck this guy was. I honestly thought he was like a fan character or something, but nope. Apparently they both made their debut back in Sega Sonic the Hedgehog, a weird arcade game released only in Japan back in 1993. Okay, I guess. Mighty is actually pretty cool. His shell allows him to avoid taking damage from some stuff. You can jump right onto spikes, and if you're in a ball, he'll just bounce right off them. He also has this cool smash move that knocks stuff out of trees and breaks through obstacles. I often use it to land on platforms more safely too. He's a little overpowered, but I mean, hey, it's fun to be overpowered sometimes. Ray, on the other hand, is just kind of weird. He has this fly ability, but it's more of a glide, much like an actual flying squirrel. But it's not like Knuckles' glide. It's kind of like the cape in Super Mario World, but it's not even close to as intuitive. In Mario, you just press back and Mario will bounce up in the air. It's confusing at first, but once you get the hang of it, it's no problem. But with Ray, you sort of have to press down to make him start diving and then back up again to give him a burst, and it just feels weird. I'm sure there's some diehard Ray the Flying Squirrel fans, but he's just not for me, sorry. Holy shit. Okay, I talked about playable characters for a very long time, but trust me, there's a whole game in this game, so let's hop right in. The main part of the game is called Mania mode, which I guess you could call story mode if you're that kind of person. We start her up and we choose our character. The game opens with Tails and Sonic flying to Angel Island. They hop off to find a bunch of Eggman robots excavating a Chaos Emerald, which they use to cause some sort of dimensional rift, sending Sonic and Tails to Green Hill Zone. If you play as Knuckles, you get a slightly different opening cutscene. I guess Knuckles lives on Angel Island, so it makes sense for him to just be hanging out there. But anyway, here's our first level, Green Hill Zone from Sonic 1, and I mean, yeah, sure, I think this was the obvious choice for the first level. I'm personally more of an Angel Island man, especially since they teased me with the music at the beginning, but, you know, obviously they wanted to have some representation from Sonic 1. It's your standard first level for a Sonic game. In general, for all the reimagined stages, they try to make the first act pretty true to the original game, reserving all the new stuff for the second act. There's not a ton of new stuff in Green Hill Zone, though. The next level is Chemical Plant Zone from Sonic 2, and now we're talking, baby. Chemical Plant Zone is awesome, man. The music is sick, and it's just got a super cool design. There's a couple parts here that are fucking water levels, but for the most part, it's just good old fun. Probably as good a time as any to mention that there are 2 kinds of mini games here. If you pass through a checkpoint with more than 25 rings, a little star ring floats above it, and you can hop in to do one of these blue sphere mini games that everyone hates, except me. To be fair, it's a very long mini game, and it gets pretty hard near the end, especially since there's no map or anything, so you're likely to be running around like an asshole looking for the last 4 blue balls. If you finish the mini game, you get a medallion, one of 32 total in the game, which just unlocks extras. Like I said, I like this mini game, but I don't know if I like this minigame 32 times. Anyway, there's also these big rings hidden throughout the stage which take you to this UFO chasing minigame that everyone loves except me. You gotta collect these balls to speed up and these rings to give yourself more time in the minigame. The balls respawn, but the rings don't. If you catch the UFO, you get a Chaos Emerald, and I think we know what those do. Yeah, not a fan of this. What was I talking about? Oh yeah, Chemical Plant Zone. The first Sonic game to have different music in each act was Sonic 3, meaning that the original Chemical Plant Zone had the same music in both acts, since it debuted in Sonic 2. So to hear a sick remix of the original song is super cool. Unlike Green Hill Zone, they added a ton of new stuff to Chemical Plant Zone. You got these vats where you use these big syringes to make the liquid bouncy, these moving sticky panels, and this bubbled DNA thing. At the end of the act, you get to easily the coolest boss in the game. You go through this tube and end up in a little window where you play Robotnik in a game of Mean Bean Machine. This is such a cool idea to make a boss fight. I mean, it's super easy. I would be willing to bet that you could start the fight and walk away for a couple minutes and get a sandwich and come back and still win. But regardless, I was blown away when I first saw this. Next, we got the first original zone in the game, Studiopolis Zone, and this shit rules. All the stage obstacles are movie and TV themed, and the level has this old school Hollywood vibe. And the colors are beautiful. Are you looking at this? Look at it, get your glasses on. Next we got Flying Battery Zone, making a return from Sonic and Knuckles. And it f***ing rules, bro. The first boss fight sucks, though. You're in this little encapture and you have to wait for the garbage to fill up high enough to hit the laser at the top, but it takes a really long time to get in jumping range. The second boss is Eggman inside this spider robot, and the abdomen of the spider is a bumper, which you have to jump into to make the robot fly into the spikes in the wall. I really like this boss. It sometimes feels like it doesn't work as well as it should, but not often enough to be an issue. Next we got another brand new stage, Press Garden Zone. And of course it fucking rules, bro. Have you not been paying attention to this whole video? The second act of the level has this winter theme, and hell yeah, brother. I love snow and I love an ice level. Press Garden Zone Act 2 is probably my favorite level in the game. It feeds my sad, cold Canadian heart. I'm one of those people that actually likes winter, and before you unsubscribe, allow me to explain. You see, the good Lord used his infinite power to make me profusely sweating at all times, regardless of the temperature. In fact, I'm sweating as I film this right now. So just let me enjoy a little bit of cold, okay? I'm dying over here. Next up is Stardust Speedway Zone from Sonic CD, and that's alright. Don't get me wrong, I like this level. I'm sure I would appreciate it more if I were a Sonic CD guy, but I don't know, this level's aesthetically just too loud. There's too much going on here. Especially when you get to the second act, like, look at this. This color palette is just obnoxious. Like, I know purple and yellow are compliments, but my god, does it need to be neon pink and gold? It's just too much. At the end, you fight Metal Sonic, and he has two phases. This one sucks, and this one sucks less, but it still sucks. Next, we got Hydro City Zone from Sonic 3. Remember when everyone said water levels were bad, and Sonic said, oh, are they? I was pretty sure they were f***ing awesome. Yeah, this level's great. Hydro City Zone Act 1 is probably my favorite song in the entire soundtrack. Sonic Mania nailed it with the water levels, because they took levels that aren't so much water levels as they are water-themed levels. You're not actually underwater a large amount in either Chemical Plant Zone or in Hydrocity Zone. After Hydrocity is Mirage Saloon Zone, another completely new zone, although it is based on a removed desert level from Sonic 2. If you play as any character other than Knux, you get this biplane segment, which is pretty fun, but you're not missing much by not playing it. This is one of the few levels in the game that's actually designed differently for Knuckles, the other being Green Hill Zone Act 1. And then at the end you fight these guys from Sonic. Yeah, maybe if I had more friends who are furries, I would recognize these characters, but I don't know who they are, to be honest. Apparently these two are from Sonic the Fighters, which, like, I don't know why you would want people to be reminded of that. And this guy is from... what the fuck is Sonic Triple Trouble? Oil Ocean Zone! Yeah, this is kind of lame. Next we got Lava Reef Zone. Man, are these really the best throwback levels you could have put in here? Why not like Angel Island Zone, or Casino Night Zone, or Mushroom Hill Zone? I fucking love Mushroom Hill Zone. Or maybe you could have put in like a Sonic Adventure level, like that'd be cool, like City Escape or Pumpkin Hill or something, but in 2D. I like the first act of Lava Reef Zone, but I think that's mostly just because of the music. Next up is Metallic Madness Zone. Oh boy, another Sonic CD level, cool. Look, dude, Christian, I get it, okay? You're the Sonic CD guy, but like, come on, man, nobody likes Sonic CD, dude, be real here. To be fair though, Metallic Madness Zone is pretty cool. The color palette is pretty tame for a Sonic CD level, and you get to switch between the background and the foreground, which is neat. The final stage is a brand new one, Titanic Monarch Zone, a perfect final level. It's got this sort of boss's fortress feel to it, and it has this section in the second act with portals, which you have to complete all of before heading to the final boss. The final boss of the game is this Dr. Octopus looking ass Eggman machine. After you hit him, he'll warp you around to one of his cronies, and once you break all his tentacles, bada bing bada boom, that's the game, folks. If you collect all the Chaos Emeralds, there's an extra zone, but I'm not doing that. So that's Mania mode, and it is jam-packed, but that's not even all that this game has to offer. Sonic Mania Plus added Encore mode and a 4-player competition mode. Encore has remixed versions of all the stages, and I guess you could say they added Angel Island Zone. Excuse me while I go f myself. I would talk about the competition mode, but as all my friends are full-grown adults, they don't care about Sonic the Hedgehog. You can also unlock some cool extra stuff, like debug mode, which... There's also And Knuckles mode, which lets you have Knuckles along with you if you're into that sort of thing. Finally. The perfect Sonic game. And that's Sonic Mania. And wow, I can't believe I talked that much about it, but to be fair, it's a pretty huge game. Honestly, it's probably the best Sonic game ever made. I've beaten it more times than I can count. Sure, not all the levels are winners, and, you know, the mini-games are too long and not fun, but overall, the level selection is awesome. Even during the absolute worst of Sonic's very sad descent into the bottom of the Grand Canyon, the franchise has had one thing going for it, and that is bangin' tunes. So does Sonic Mania have that? Yeah, of course. What are you, stupid? Sonic Mania has one of the best soundtracks in any game I've ever played. Download that shit onto your Windows 95 Sony Ericsson MP3 player. For free, on LimeWire. In the end, I don't know what else to say other than I just love this game. I give Sonic Mania a Sonic Mania out of Sonic Mania.